my gosh. The 49ers did it again. You had Amari Cooper available. You had Tyler Boyd available. You had Gabe Davis even available. And you did it again. You didn't even go after them. You went after one of the biggest second round pick busts in NFL history in Skyy Moore. Oh, I've never laughed so hard in my life.
It's football time.
Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast for sports, everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are talking about the 49ers as some breaking news has come out on two separate occasions. As Demarcus Robinson, the newest receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, gotten from the LA Rams in free agency. Demarcus Robinson, for the DUI, he has officially been suspended for the first 3 games of the season. But then only a few hours later, the 49ers would eventually make a trade with the Kansas City Chiefs to trade for one of the worst second round busts in NFL history in Skyy Moore, who, let me go over his stats here, has had 43 receptions in his career for 494 yards and 1 touchdown. They did it again. They screwed up another signing. I am telling you, the 49ers are always, every single time, they always do this. Every single time, I tell you. But not only that, the 49ers brought Purdy admitted frustrations with the receiver core already sustaining massive injuries. Of course, Ayuk out until at least week 6. But of course, he is going to have to take a massive step in timing, leadership, adaptability to keep San Francisco in contention, because he's likely going to be out without some of his best receivers for at least 6 weeks. But the question is, can the 49ers survive the early season storm until their weapons get back? I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Before we do, if you guys do enjoy this video, do me a favor and smash the button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. For now, let's talk about the 49ers. The 49ers, I believe they're in some trouble. Because if we look at their first 10 games, it's not that easy of a walk in the park, as people might think. The Seattle Seahawks, of course, they face in week 1. The Saints, they face in week 2. That should hopefully be an easy win because they're a bye week team. I would be surprised if the Saints were to win against the Niners in that game. Then you got the Cardinals in week 3, the Jags in week 4, the Rams, the Bucks, Falcons, Texans, and then you got the Giants with their owner-in-law, Russell Wilson, and the Rams. When we look at that schedule, that is a very difficult gauntlet early on. It's not as difficult. It's probably not difficult in Niner fans' eyes because they're so delusional. They don't even know what's right and what's wrong. But if we look at this game in that span in the right with the right eyesight, this could be what makes or breaks the season for the 49ers. And if they don't have any of their starters, like Ricky Pearsall, well, Ricky Pearsall's already going to be healthy. You got Jennings wanting his money. If he's not there, that's going to make a big impact. You got Ayuk that's going to be out at least until week 6. And then you got Demarcus Robinson, of course, dealing with that 3-game suspension early on. He'll be back in week 4 against the Jaguars. 49ers, y'all don't realize how much of trouble you're in. Because your receiver core right now is looking so bad right now. If the NFL were to start today, your wide receivers would be Skyy Moore, Ricky Pearsall, Russell Gage, Junior Bergen, Tariq Owens, Isaiah Hodgins, Robbie Chosen, and now Skyy Moore. Are you kidding me? Skyy Moore? One of the biggest busts in NFL history? Not even Patrick Mahomes, the greatest quarterback God ever created, not even Mahomes could help Scott Moore. Not even him. And you're telling me when you have Amari Cooper, Tyler Boyd, and Gabe Davis available, you're telling me you don't even give them a single phone call? Are you kidding me? This is the biggest bust of them all. If we look at that draft that Scott Moore was drafted in, he's the biggest bust of them all. I mean, this man is horrible. He's easily one of the worst receivers in the league today. He shouldn't even be in the league. He should be in like high school varsity or something on the way that he's playing. Because this is not what I'm seeing. And then, not only that, you're telling me Brock Purdy is going to have to go into week one with no Jennings, no Ayuk, and no Robinson? That is going to hurt him. And if he's already displaying frustration about it, that's telling me he's concerned about that first week against Seattle.
Come on, Junior. Wait here, Junior. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. You.
That's what he's telling me. Because let's look at some of their schedules really quick. Let's look at some of those games. Seattle, the only team ranking they ranked outside of the top 15 in was run defense. They're going to be slightly more improved. And by the way, they had the third highest pressure rate of any team in the league last year. Then we look at the Cardinals. Their defense is a little bit more improved, but then again, Kyler Murray is still their quarterback. We're not sure about him either. Then you got the Jaguars. I think they're a coin flip because they're we haven't seen them yet, but they could either be a team that makes the playoffs or a team that just collapses and folds like an egg. Then you got the Rams twice. The Rams have been the daddy of the 49ers and dethroned them of their title last year in the division. What a present! And then you got Tampa Bay that has a top 5 quarterback in the NFC with Baker Mayfield. And I've talked about this Buccaneers team. They are scary in my eyes. You can all go and check that video out. I'll have that link in the description below. Then the Falcons. I'm not entirely ruling the Falcons out because their defense should be a little bit more better. But of course, Michael Penix is still a question mark. And then the Texans on the road in Houston. That's going to be a very tricky game. And then you got Russell Wilson, your owner-in-law, and the Giants. And I've talked about the Giants. I've said the Giants are not a terrible football team. They're a team that's at least competitive enough to stay relevant. Because if we look at that defense, have you seen the Giants front seven? They're one of the best front sevens in the league, in my opinion. You got Dexter Lawrence up there. You got Brian Burns up there. Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter. That front seven is going to be something next year. Now, am I saying the Giants are going to make the playoffs and all that? No. Am I saying the Giants can be a good, solid team and win some games? Yeah. I mean, look at last year. They knocked off Seattle and Indianapolis. What were those two results? Missed the playoffs. If the Giants, I've said this, they are a kryptonite type of team. If anyone loses to the Giants, you're not making the playoffs. That's what I've been saying. And then each of the defenses are strong. I mean, the Saints defense is already strong, but it's of course their offense that's still a question mark. Because I never underestimate the Saints because of that defense. But Purdy, I've talked about this guy a lot. I'm going to say it again. Purdy's got to learn to perform without his weapons. He is terrible without his weapons. He's had a losing record without his guys. And that's the main stat I go off of, by the way. But when I look at the 49ers, you're in trouble. And you had a chance to go after a for real number 3 receiver. You had a chance to. You had all that money in your pocket. And who do you go after? Skyy Moore. Skyy Moore. One of the biggest busts in NFL history. And you go after him? I mean, I'm starting to question the leader, the front office of John Lynch. If you ask me, I'm starting to question it because of that move. Because remember, a few weeks ago they signed Equanimous St. Brown, a man that's not even eclipsed 1,000 yards in his career, and now they bring in Skyy Moore. Are you kidding me? John Lynch is putting himself on a hot seat right now. If he keeps making sorry behind trash moves like this, he's putting himself on the hot seat. Because there is no way in heck, with all that money you got in your pocket, there is no way you don't give those guys at least a phone call. There is no excuse for that to happen. And the 49ers, I've heard it from Niner fans already early in the season saying, oh, we're going to win the West. Oh, we're going to be the best team in the West. You can run, but you can't hide. The 49ers will reclaim the West, and no other opponents will fall on.
Are you still there? Hello, I can't see you. Look, am I just talking to myself or what? Well, that's just rude.
Well, how are you going to do that when you don't even have a number 1 receiver right now? Your number 1 receiver at the moment is Ricky Pearsall, a man that got shot last year in the freaking chest. He got shot. And still, I've been hearing it. Oh, Purdy, Ricky Pearsall is going to do fine. Oh, Ricky Pearsall is going to be good in San Fran. Well, have we seen it yet? Have we seen it? We haven't seen it because, I mean, sure, last year he did have a few glimpses, but we haven't seen him in a whole 17-game slants. We haven't seen him there. But here's the main thing for me. 49ers, do you all realize that if you don't have a number 3 receiver that you could have signed in those 3 I mentioned, do y'all realize? Because I'm looking at that schedule, I think they're possibly going to go 3-7, or at least 4-6 in that span. Because if we look at some of those opponents, they are strong. Seattle's gotten better. The Cardinals have gotten better, but they're a bit of a question mark team as well. The Rams got better and owned y'all for breakfast. The Bucks are better. The Falcons are better. Texans are better. And then, of course, like 4 questionable teams I would have in that span are like the Giants, the Falcons, the Jaguars, and the Saints. Those 4 I could see easily being wins. But the rest of them, I don't think they're going to be wins. Even week 1 against Seattle. Did y'all see how Sam Darnold looked in his first start on his first drive? Did y'all see that, man? Call plays perfectly. 4 of 4. And lead that drive into touchdown. Did y'all see that? If y'all are really confident, then are you terrified of what Seattle's going to bring? Their defense retained most of their guys. Their offense retooled. And if we saw the Seahawks run the ball as well as they did, I think Seattle's got a chance to give San Francisco some trouble week 1. I know a lot of Niner fans are going to admit it because they're so delusional in their own world because Seattle in their city is public enemy number 1. Your public enemy number 1 should be the Los Angeles Rams, not Seattle. But that's our story for another day. My point is, if you enter that span with the wide receiver room you got right now, you're not going to do so well. And I'm not saying the 49ers are a bad team. I'm not saying that they're full of scrubs. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is San Fran has to get a number 3 receiver. Because your only number one right now is Ricky Pearsall. Your number two right now would be Junior Bergen. And number three could probably either be like, I don't even know who right now. But San Fran, you need to get your wide receiver room together, act together, and get them healthy, and pay Juwan Jennings, or you're in a beginning of a lot of hurt this season. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think the 49ers can survive the early season storm until their weapons get back? Let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do me a favor and smash the button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.